We live in a world of artificial intelligence, blockchain, reusable rockets, drones, flying taxis. A world increasingly shaped by young innovators. Yet, on the youngest continent on Earth, millions of young people are still being governed by political leaders whose career has started during the Cold War, and for some of them, under colonial administration.
From struggle, still standing.
Hello, beautiful people. Hello, great tribe. Welcome back for another video. As you can see, I found my spot, so I'm sitting here. And for context, I'm making this video today to share with you what I have just seen. So I saw a video of President Nayib Bukele. It's the president of El Salvador. I will put the map of El Salvador for those who don't know. And also, I will put the video that I have just watched. It was a hospital that has been built, public hospital, very modern. That's what struck my mind. And I wanted to share with you some inconsistencies or some paradox that I have observed. Let's do this step by step. Number one, what we are going to do is to verify and check some numbers. So I will type here just on my phone, the youthful continent on Earth. And you will see that Africa, if you can check on Google or ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok, wherever you want, just type, and you will see that it says Africa is the world's youngest continent demographically. The median age in Africa is about 19 years. More than 60% of Africans are under 25. Okay? And countries such as Niger, Uganda, Chad have some of the youngest populations on Earth. Now, let's go and check when it comes to political leaders, the oldest one. Okay? For context. So when you type oldest presidents still in power today, so especially, for example, in Africa, the number one that will come, Paul Biya from Cameroon. As of 2026, he is 93, and he was in power since 1982. Number two, Teodoro Obiangema Basogo from Equatorial Guinea. He's 84, and he's in power since 1979. Number three, Denis Sassou Nguesso from Republic of Congo. He's 82, and he's in power since 1979. Number four, Alassane Ouattara from Ivory Coast. He's 84, and he's in power since 2011. Number five, Yoweri Museveni from Uganda. He's 81, and he's in power since 1986. Number six, Ismail Omar Guelleh from Djibouti. He's 78, and he's in power since 1999. Number seven, Isaias Afwerki from Eritrea. He's 80 years old, and he's in power since 1993. So Paul Biya remains the oldest sitting head of state in the world at 93 years old. and he has ruled Cameroon since 1982. These leaders have collectively shaped much of Africa's political landscape for decades, particularly in Central Africa and East Africa. So let's do a comparison. For example, it's simple. Let's take the most influential countries, for example, United States, France, and we will compare. So I just type how old was Obama, how old was Emmanuel Macron, and how old was Nayib Bukele when they were elected. So Barack Obama from the US was elected when he was 47 in 2008. Barack Obama was 47 when he became the president of the United States. Emmanuel Macron from France took power at the age of 39 because he was elected in 2017. And in El Salvador, Nayib Bukele came in power in 2019 when he was only 37. So there are so many leaders. For example, Gabriel Boric, he was 35 also when he was elected in 2021. Sana Marin, she was 34 also when she became prime minister. And Thomas Sankara took power when he was 33 in 1983. In 2022, Ibrahim Traoré took power. He became the head of the state at the age of 34. Where I'm going with this, the point is, we are in the world that is evolving. In Africa, we have the oldest leaders, people that were trained to serve in the colonial administration. Even a computer. When, for example, you have a MacBook, for example, the series from 2012 or 2013, try to do an update, you will see that it will not work. Because even a computer needs update, new apps, new versions. The Intel Celeron that you were using in the early 2000s, 2005, 2007, it's not the same that you are using now. For example, in 2026, people have iCore 7, new generations. Everything is being upgraded. So it's the same for human beings. Those who are like 93, the mindset that they have, the political ideas they have, it doesn't serve the context that we are living in right now. Because even in philosophy, I love philosophy, even in philosophy, they say, la philosophie est la fille de son temps. Meaning, philosophy is the girl of its time. Honestly, I don't understand how the youngest continent on earth can be governed by the oldest leaders. Let's be honest, guys. At 93, a human being at 93, what are his intellectual capacities to take decisions for the greater good of the country? Even your essential needs as a human being, you cannot take care of your own business without help. At that age, people already, they have Alzheimer's. They cannot even move. Even your mobility is very reduced. How can you lead a country at that age? And I don't believe in the superhero or in the providence man, in the savior. No. In one country, you have 20 million, 30 million people. So you are telling me that out of the millions of people, only that one person has the ability to lead. Only that person has the intelligence, the capacities to govern the country? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And if you check even history, I'm a Christian. So Christian meaning that a follower of Christ. So if you take an example of Jesus, how old was Jesus when they killed him? He was 33. But 2000 something years later, we are still talking about him. So this idea that wisdom is attached to your age, I don't believe it. Because we have proofs. How come Obama, under 50, he became the president of the most influential of the superpower in the world, United States? Emmanuel Macron came to power at what age? Nayib Bukele. And we have, even in Africa, we have a perfect example. Today, everyone is celebrating Burkina Faso. Why? Because of Ibrahim Traore. But Ibrahim Traore himself, he came in power at the age of 37. And he's the fruit of what? He's the fruit of an ideology. The ideology that was planted by Thomas Sankara. And Thomas Sankara became the head of state at the age of 33. Yes, he brought the Sankarism in Burkina Faso, and he redefined, he reshaped the political situation in Burkina Faso. And today, that ideology has fruits. We are seeing the progress going on in Burkina Faso, how the young people have completely changed their vision of their own country, and they are doing everything in their power to improve their country. That's what I'm trying to say. But the case here is El Salvador. So let's go and check the numbers about El Salvador. Let's check the numbers for Nayib Bukele. Okay, so when you check, you will see when Nayib Bukele took power in 2019, he was elected. El Salvador was described as one of the most dangerous countries in the world, the murder capital of the world during some years, dominated by gangs such as the MS-13 and Barrio 18. So what they are involved in, most of the time it's extortion, kidnappings, and killings were common in many neighborhoods. So many Salvadorians avoided entire districts because of gang controlled areas. Now, today, El Salvador has become one of the most stable and one of the tourist-friendly countries in Latin America. Yes, in just 3 to 4 years, because he was from 2022, what he has taken as measures. Number one, he started like arresting suspecting gang members. Raids were conducted, and they detain the suspects for longer periods. The prison that he has constructed has the capacity 40,000 people, 40,000 inmates. You see? So the prison has, for example, extremely strict security, minimal contact with the outside world, heavy surveillance, large communal cells. This prison was built specifically for gang and organized crime members. It's one of the largest prisons in the Americas as a continent. You see? And when you check the numbers, they will say more than 80,000 people have been reportedly arrested during the anti-gang campaign. These are drastic measures that we need to take, leaders need to take in order to change countries, in order to change a nation. It's not easy. And if you check the ideology, for example, of Thomas Sankara, it can be resumed in this sentence. He said, it's better to have water for everyone than have champagne for few. That's the ideology. And Nayib Bukele is doing the same thing. Ibrahim Traore is doing the same thing. People that care about their country. So do you really think that when we talk about immigration, if all the leaders are taking care of their countries like these two, will thousands, if not millions, of young Africans try to cross the Atlantic Ocean to go to Europe? Will we have immigration or migration crisis? Will people cross all the dangerous forests, lakes, sea to go to the US, Canada to look for better? Will we have illegal migration at the levels that we have right now? I don't think so. Because if in the country, human beings have always been looking for resources, if in a country there are no alternatives, there are no solutions, If you bring your new ideas, fresh ideas, you want to try to contribute, all they see is competition. They want to kill you. And that's the problem with Africa. These people are in power for 40, 45 years, 42 years, but nothing has been changed. And every time they will go, they will record one road, they will record one bridge, and then they will come to say that, oh, the country is progressing. If you give like constructive criticism, they will look for you to arrest you, to put you in jail, to torture you, to kill you. And someone said, Africa is the cemetery for Africans. Because all of the young minds, all of the great minds, when they come and they want to offer solutions, they are being chased away. Look at Rwanda today. Everyone is visiting Rwanda. Everyone is going there for tourism. Why? Because Paul Kagame has done something. They rebuild their country. Kigali becomes the cleanest city in Africa. They are human beings. They are building their country. They call all the diaspora, come, whatever you have as a skill, whatever you have as a qualification, come back home. Let's build our country. Everywhere on the planet, young people are shaping, young people are building their countries with innovation, technology. But in Africa, no. We are the enemy of change. We are the enemy of improvement. If you check, again, type, and you will see that no, there are more Cameroonian, for example, doctors in France than in Cameroon itself. Does it make sense to you? Check how many of them are working for BMW in Germany, for example, the engineers. These are educated minds. These are people that can contribute to the country. But unfortunately, because of the selfishness of those who are in power, they just care of their families, their kids, sending them abroad, looting the country, embezzlement, mismanagement of funds, buying mansions abroad, doing some things that don't have even like any sense. I saw that the government of Ivory Coast signed a deal with American hospital in Paris so that all the government members, when they get sick in Ivory Coast, they can go to Paris to be treated. Then who's going to the hospital? What about the public hospital in Ivory Coast? Who is going there? If the people that are leading, they don't trust the hospitals. For them, if they are sick, oh, medical evacuation, they have to go to another continent. How can you be a leader and accept that, no, you don't have even one hospital that can treat you when you are sick? You have to take the plane, go to another continent, another man's land to be treated. And when you talk about that, people will come and say, oh, why are you talking about this? You should respect elders. Yes, we should respect elders, but does it mean that even when they are doing things that are harming us all collectively, because of respect, we should just shut up and let them do it? I don't understand that mindset. Because in other areas, in other continents, in other countries, they are building, they are improving their lives. What we don't understand, most of the Francophone people like in Africa, is that people who are elected, people who are in power in the government, we, the population, we gave them the power to represent us, to manage the natural resources, the funds that the country has. It's not theirs. It's not because they are the smartest. It's not because they have more qualification than us. No. Some people are way smart than those who are working in the government. But unfortunately, we see everything as tribe, as ethnic group, as religion, as region. And that's why we are stuck. And I think we are going to be stuck again for years. Look at El Salvador.
Es un placer poder darle la bienvenida al nuevo Hospital Rosales.
Como siempre decimos, lo público debe ser mejor que lo privado. El dinero alcanza cuando nadie roba. Y qué mejor discurso que una gran obra como esta.
Nos encontramos en el servicio de emergencias. Cada cama tiene su equipamiento. Tenemos monitores de signos vitales, incluso tenemos ventiladores mecánicos.
Tenemos todas las especialidades. Cirugía de alta complejidad, de mediana y de baja complejidad. Esta es nuestra sala de cirugía robótica. Hay que utilizar unas gafas 3D para poder ver en la consola. Entonces, él está viendo ahí, está operando y todo el equipo sigue en simultáneo a través de las pantallas el transcurso de la cirugía. El otro robot es para cirugía de ortopedia y traumatología. Hace una planeación en el monitor en 3D y le ayuda al cirujano a realizar los cortes más precisos. Ahora le voy a presentar el corazón de nuestra sala híbrida, que es la sala de hemodinamia avanzada.
Wow.
Nuestro equipo, el angiógrafo, es el único en toda Centroamérica de este tipo. En esta sala de hemodinamia vamos a poder diagnosticar y tratar al mismo tiempo. Y aquí vamos a realizar todas las cirugías de neurointervencionismo, se van a poder realizar cirugías del cerebro. También tenemos los otros 2 quirófanos de alta complejidad en donde se va a realizar cirugía cardiovascular y se va a realizar el programa de trasplante. Y un dato interesante, nuestro microscopio solamente hay 3 en toda América, 2 en Estados Unidos y 1 que es el que tenemos nosotros. También tenemos un resonador que es de 3 Teslas.
Vemos hospitales, clínicas, lo que tienen es 1.5 Tesla.
Sí.
Y eso ya es tecnología avanzada.
Eso ya es de por sí un resonador avanzado, pero este es el más avanzado de 3 Tesla.
Anteriormente esto estaba escondido en unas ruinas.
Un gusto presentarle la unidad de cuidados intensivos del nuevo
Gracias.
Hospital Rosales. Acá en el primer nivel tenemos
Son muchas.
capacidad de 21 habitaciones y en el segundo nivel tenemos capacidad para 40.
Y se ven el tipo de monitores, el tipo
Sí,
de
los monitores
equipos, todo se ve.
son multiparámetros porque sí nos dan mayor precisión en los datos.
Esto tiene un porcentaje de 7% dependiente, como lo dictan las normas, para poder hacer los transportes de los pacientes en carros camillas o sillas de ruedas.
Pero que son muchísimas máquinas de hemodiálisis.
Contamos con 140 máquinas. Anteriormente disponían de 61 máquinas.
Y no de estas.
Tecnología anterior, un poco ya obsoleta.
El robot tiene la capacidad de procesar 2.000 resultados por hora. Nos llevaría a hacer hasta 30.000 resultados en un día.
Esto es un gran sueño que teníamos muchos. Para nuestro país esto es algo transformador. El primero de muchos. Se creó esta red de hospitales precisamente para ir construyendo o transformando hospitales en esto.
If you check, for example, how does El Salvador is mining Bitcoin, you will be surprised because they are using what? Geothermal energy generated by volcanoes to mine Bitcoin. And if you check the numbers, as of 2026, El Salvador holds roughly 7,500 to 7,650 BTC. That worth, for example, more or less 620 million USD based on the market price right now. You see how smart it is, and the government keeps buying. I have watched videos on YouTube where people go to El Salvador and then they just use like their wallet using Bitcoin to buy beer. They have even like ATMs, but for Bitcoin. This is the technology. This is how you see that, oh, the country is progressing because young leaders are bringing innovative ideas. You cannot tell me that, no, having 620 millions doesn't help the government. It does help. It can build how many schools? It can build how many hospitals? Now imagine someone proposing that to all the leaders in Africa. Who will listen to you if you have this kind of ideas? And that's why we are stuck. That's why we are just like 500 years behind. Because we are the enemies of change. People don't want to change. People don't want to improve the conditions for all. No, only few people, one family, one ethnic group, one tribe, they come and then they seize the power and they are there for 40 years doing nothing. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share and comment this video to keep the conversation going. And as I always say, on your way to where you want to be, never forget to be happy. Thank you very much, and see you on the next one.